Good evening. Today is Monday, January 1st. Happy New Year. More protests killed in Iran as Rouhani's plea fails to dampen unrest. At least 12 civilians have died in clashes around the country, and a police officer was reportedly shot dead in the city of Najafabad. At least 12 people have died in clashes between protests and security guards in Iran since protests erupted across the country last week, officials said on Monday, as an intervention by the president failed to quell public anger. Protesters defied warnings by the authorities to stay away or be confronted with an iron fist as demonstrations in a sense that are increasingly becoming violent continued on Sunday evening for the fourth day, hours after Iranian President Hassan Rouhani acknowledged discontent. The demonstration began on Thursday after opponents of the moderate president get ready in northwest Iran, but soon spread nationwide, escalating from initial demands over economic grievances and taking on the political dimensions. At least 2 people were killed on the seat of Izet in Kyrgyzstan province during protests on Sunday night, according to the members of the parliament who claimed it was not clear which side fired the shots. 2 others were killed in Lorestan province. There were turbulent scenes in a number of the cities across Iran, including the capital Tehran, Karaj, Tuzerkan, Hamadan, Arak, Saveh, Amol, Sari, and Qazvin. Officials said on Monday 10 people died during the protests on Sunday night, and at least 400 people had been arrested over the past 5 days. Videos posted on social networks appeared to show riot policy become more confrontation. Similarly, protests are seen attacking government buildings and shattering windows in the escalation of the unrest. Protests continued on Monday evening for a 50-day anti-riot policy raiding on motorbikes and wheeled the batons were unleashed on the street of Tehran, observers said. Similar scenes were reported in the other cities. The semi-official Tasnim news agency close to the elite Revolutionary Guards reported that one police officer was shot dead in the city of Najafabad in Isfahan province on Monday night. The agents claimed he was killed by one of the protesters. Rouhani spoke with a number of parliamentarians on Monday in a meeting officials insisted was planned before the protests began. The president said, "Not all protesters are receiving orders from foreign powers. Some are ordinary people who have come to the street because of their problems and sentiment." The president said people wanted Iran's political atmosphere to open up, but was adamant the Islamic Republic would endure the turmoil without much difficulty. People will confront a minority and a small group who are chanting slogans against the law and the will of people and inciting sectarian and revolutionary values, destroying public properties, he said. A day earlier, in the first public comments of the protest, Rouhani acknowledged discontent in a video aired on state television, saying people has constitutional right to hold protests and criticism, but he also warned that criticism was different from violence, destruction of public property. The president added, based on the constitutional and the citizenship rights, people are completely free in expressing criticism and even the protest, but at the same time, we must pay attention to the way in which criticism and the protest should be made to lead to better conditions from the country and the people's lives. Rouhani denounced the comments made by the USA President Donald Trump, who tweeted on Sunday, "The people are finally getting wise as to how their money and their wealth is being stolen and is squandered on terrorism." Rouhani said Trump had no right to express his sympathy with Iran because a few months ago he called the Iran national terrorist and was against the Iran National from head to toe. Trump again tweeted on Monday, saying Iran was failing at every level as they reiterated his support of the protesters. Iran is failing in every level despite the terrible deal made with them by the Obama administration. The great Iran people had been repressed for many years. They are hungry for the food and for freedom. Along with human rights, the wealth of the Iran is being looted. Time for change. The British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson said the UK was watching events in Iran closely, and people should be able to have freedom of the expression of the demonstration peacefully within the law. He added, "We regret the loss of life that has occurred in the protests in Iran and call on all concerned to refrain from violence and for international obligation on human rights to be observed. The scale and the speed in which the protests have spread across Iran has puzzled many in the country, including reformists who are critical of the country's political atmosphere, but are worried of the many move towards regime change. Iran blocked access to social network sites including Telegram and Instagram on Sunday, but instead the move was temporary. In contrast to their previous handling of such protests, Iran officials appeared to be more conciliatory, at least towards some groups of the protesters, acknowledging that they have a legitimate economic grievance. The head of the Iran's judiciary, Ayatollah Sadek Ahmed Larijani, a headline cleric, said, "Attacking mosques, public buildings, banks in the unacceptable." He vowed the perpetrators will be prosecuted. The situation right now in Iran is complicated. Iran is the Islamic Republic, the main power inside Iran is Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Right now, we will watch a video about the protests in Iran. Okay, a moment, please.
Holy shit. چهارراه ولیعصر تهران ماشین آبپاش
I think this problem in Iran needs the change of the regime. After many years, the same regime in Iran, the regime the Islamic Republic, the main authority, the right authority is the Ali Khamenei, not the president. I think the situation in Iran maybe to be the opportunity to change this regime. Iran is a great country. Is the, in my opinion, is the main important country in the Middle East. But Iran have in the regime difficult to understand, but I think the change of good for Iran would be one country democracy in Iran without the I don't know, I forgot the word, the power of the clerics, because the clerics is terrible in anyone country. Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity. The Iran people change their destiny. It changed this. I don't know, but the people said this government right now is corrupt. I think the corrupt is the every world. Our world is corrupt, unfortunately. But I have the hope that someday in the future our nations be less corrupt. Thank you very much for watching my new video. If you want to learn English or talk with me in English, come here at Classe Particular Idiomas, or we can to do class by Skype anywhere in the world. Sharing this video with your family, friends, everybody. Comment is very important for me. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Give a like on my page on Facebook. My channel, if you want to, you can to find other video in the language: Portuguese, Brazilian, Brazilian Portuguese, Italian, French, Spanish, of course, in English. Are interesting news que I found, que I read, que I gave my opinion. Sharing, comment, watch my other videos. If you want to talk with me about any theme, send me one message by WhatsApp. Here on my number of the WhatsApp. It would be great pleasure receiving your message. Okay, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody, especially in the country where speaking English. Thank you very much. And see you tomorrow with the other interesting news. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Thank you. And Happy New Year. Bye.